Welcome back. It's Betsy Marshall, and today's topic is called Sibling Rivalry. As the youngest of 9 children, lots of firsthand experience with sibling rivalry. I have 7 sisters, 7. And I can tell you that my sister Katie and I, who shared a room for many years, we didn't always like each other, but we learned to be respectful and kind, at least in front of our mother. And now we are best friends. We talk every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And as the mother of 4 children, I know there are times, especially with my twins, where they would fight and bicker and really have a difficult time with each other. But now it's lovely to see how well they get along. So I want to talk to you today about what we as moms and dads and caregivers can do to help with sibling rivalry, and how can we make your home more peaceful, and how we can build those relationships between your children. So if at your house you're in the middle of making dinner or trying to work at your desk, and all of a sudden you hear a crash, a boom, a screech, and someone comes running to you, Mom, he hit me, he took my toy, he took my seat on the couch. I want to help you with what to do in those situations, and how we can give our children the tools to work through some of these problems without you, so you don't always have to be the referee there. So the first thing you want to do is understand, is it really a conflict? Is this problem really between your 2 children or 3 children or more? Or is the problem something else entirely? Is your child frustrated because they're unable to build their tower the way they wanted? Are they hungry? Are they tired? Do they just want to spend time with you? So is there an underlying cause? Is there something that's maybe bothering them in such a way that they need some support with that? Secondly, and I have a slideshow here I'm trying to show you, but I can't, so I'll just talk, is to give them an opportunity to resolve these conflicts on their own. And they need help with that. You can't just say, work it out. They need the words. They need you to tell them what to do. Sometimes we say to kids, use your words, but we don't tell them what words to use, and they don't always have those at the ready. So it's okay, very simplistic terms for young children. Tell your brother to go away. Tell them no. Tell them stop. Some simple terms, some signs that we can give our children. But using your words is important, and giving them those words, those I messages. I don't like it when you sit next to me. I don't like it when you look at me. I don't like it when you talk to me. I don't like it when you knock down my toys. I don't like it. All those things that they just can say, and sometimes just verbalizing those feelings, those I don't like it when, is enough to help them feel better. And then helping the other child to listen. Oh, your brother said he doesn't like it when you knock down his tower. Did you hear him? Your brother said he doesn't like it. It's really important you allow the 2 children to talk to each other, to communicate, even very simplistic vocabulary. I don't like it when you did that, and the other children to listen to that. If we just swoop in and say, you stop doing that, come here, and don't allow that exchange of feelings, those words, those communications to happen, we're missing out on a big piece of conflict resolution. Or avoiding conflict. We're resolving the problem for them by removing it, and not practicing. How do you resolve a conflict with words? So important, right? So the next thing we want to do is listen. Listen to our children. They sometimes just want to tell you what happened. If you've missed it, and most times we've missed it, if we didn't miss it, we would have helped them along the process. So after the fact, when they come running to you to tell you, he did this and he did this, then go in and say, now tell me what happened. Now in my house, the biggest challenge is getting them to speak one at a time. They went, I wanted it, and he did this and he did this. whomever you're going to start with, but give them both, all of them, equal time to just tell me what happened. Tell mommy what happened. It could be a very long story. He did this and he did this. It could be just a few words. And then give the other child, now you tell me what happened. You tell me what happened. And sometimes that's just enough for them to get it off their chest. But then it could be an opportunity for you to say, oh, listen to what happened. And you are also role modeling empathy. Role modeling that, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. An empathetic listener for the other child who might be super unhappy, super angry. It also gives them kind of a time to calm down. You can't resolve a conflict when you're so heated and so angry. And you can tell with your child if they need a few minutes to calm down before they tell you what happens. Come and sit by mommy. Let's cuddle for a few minutes. Let's sit and look at a book for a few minutes, and then you can tell mommy what happened. Okay? Very important to find out from them and to give them an opportunity to tell you. Okay? The other thing at your house is to make sure that you know and your children know what are the rules at your house. You have to establish some basic rules of your house. At our house, there's no hitting. Yes, occasionally they hit. But the rule is don't. And if you did, you're going to be told, whoops, we don't do that here. We also don't name call. You're a stupid head. No. Or worse. No. You can say, I don't like it when you pull my hair. It bothers me when you take my trains without asking. But we're not calling names. Okay? So some basic rules that you must establish and must be consistent with. And again, I'm going to reiterate, if you're hitting your children, if you're calling your children names, then it's hard to have the rule of we don't hit and we don't name call. So I'm going to, again, urge you to establish those kinds of basic rules of this is a safe place where we will work out our problems without using our hands and without belittling or putting other people down. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to help children to state the problem and then form solutions. And this is very, very difficult. And we try and quickly solve a problem by taking something away, right? I'll give you an example. Here we go. My troll dolls. Okay, so there are 3 troll dolls, and everybody wants the one that's wearing sparkly clothes. Can you see that? And so they fight over this one. No, I want this one. I want this one. And we come in and say, nobody gets it. Okay, that's one way to solve it. And we know we all do that, right? Instead of saying, whoa. Molly and Rob, you are playing with troll dolls together. That's great. But I see that you both want this one. How can you work that out? How can you work it out? Giving them a minute to think about it. What can we do, friends, if both of you want the same toy? And one of your children will absolutely figure something out because they know if we don't, Mom will take it. It will go on the top of the fridge. Then nobody gets it. So somebody will say, well, I'll get it first. Okay, that's one option. Molly, you can have it first, and then Robert will have a turn. Or Molly will get one, and then Robert gets the other 2. Okay? Whatever they work out, but give them options if they can't come up with something on their own. Help them to resolve conflicts. Give them solutions, possible solutions. And it might be, let's put them aside for now and let's go all play with something different. Or maybe mommy can come and play too and model appropriate play with them. So those are some things that we need to think about. The next thing, again, is modeling that. If they're watching you, and at my house, you and Daddy, because I have a partner, I have a spouse, and we're fighting and we're bickering and maybe we're name calling, that's not good role modeling, is it? And sometimes Mom and Dad can agree to disagree on things. And I find that when my husband and I are having a conflict, something simple as when the garbage goes out or whatever, my children will come in from other rooms to kind of witness that. And there are times where I will allow that. Sure, whatever, we're having a conflict over the garbage. Okay. And they can witness two adults who can have a discussion, have a disagreement, and try and come to a resolution without coming to blows. And there are times where we might be so angry or so upset that my children don't need to witness mom and dad being that way, and I will excuse them from the room and say, not right now, or mommy and dad will go and have this discussion outside. And that's okay too. But be mindful. You have children who are listening, who are watching, and who are learning from you. The next thing I want you to do, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, is there are times when you have to referee, you have to go in and help, or they will absolutely come to blows, and then you'll have teeth marks on someone, or a bruise. So you must go in and say, okay, let mommy help here. And then there are times where I don't want you to referee. So if you've established, use your words, figure this out, how can we come to some solutions, then there is a time where I don't want you to swoop in. Stand in the other room, listen carefully, and allow them to come to some resolutions. It may be there is a bossy one at your house who always says, well, I get it first, and it frustrates you that a sibling doesn't say, it's my turn to have it first, but let them resolve those conflicts without constant interference or refereeing, because they are able to do it. Maybe it's not necessarily to your satisfaction, but it can be without you at times, so please allow that to happen. The next thing I want you to do is remember that your children need personal space, okay? They can't and shouldn't always have to play together, especially 4-year-olds with 2-year-olds. It doesn't work. We space our children apart about 2 years, and it's really bad for play when a child is 4 and has a 2-year-old sibling or anyone younger than 2, because a 4-year-old is playing and lining up all their cars or dressing all their Barbies, and the 2-year-old comes toddling in and will absolutely ruin everything for the most part, and take or snatch, and doesn't necessarily play the same way. So you should give your 4-year-old or any child really an opportunity to play by themselves, whether it's at the kitchen table and then you're keeping someone else away, in their bedroom, in a playroom, in a space free from having to worry if a sibling will come in and disturb them. My children will sometimes want to watch. Someone's playing and they're doing a really great job playing, and they want to play by themselves. And they have the ability to say, I want to play by myself. And the other children will just watch. I'll be like, really? Go play by yourself. And they just want to watch. And that's fine, as long as the one that's playing doesn't mind. But if that's bothersome, and they say, stop watching me, he's watching me, then it's important for you to say to the one that's watching, did you hear him? He said he doesn't want you to watch. Come on, let's go play at the sink. Come and help mommy with dinner. Let's get some toys out for you. So give your children the opportunity to play by themselves. Finally, as the youngest of 9, my mother loved me the best. If you ask my sister Katie, she will say, my mother loved me the best. If you ask my sister Lisa, she will say, my mother loved me the best. My mother loved us all the best. My mother made it very, very clear to us that she loved us all, each of us dearly and the best. And sometimes we think we have a child, I could never love another as much as I love this child. But then we have another and we say, oh, yeah, we can. But sometimes your children feel as though you love my brother more than me. You spend more time with him. Make sure that you're making it very clear to each of your children that you love them the best, that you love each and every one of them, and that you have enough time for them and attention for them. That's so important. I used to nurse my babies at the same time playing with my 2.5-year-old and reading a book to the 5-year-old. It's a lot. It's a lot to give yourself to all of these little people, but find enough time to do that. As the youngest of 9, my father used to come home from work and get me out of my crib to spend time with me, just me, because there just was not enough time in the day. And while I don't necessarily remember that, I only know that as a story, it obviously helped to formulate me as an independent person, me as a loved and well cared for young child. And certainly my dad enjoyed every moment of it too. So thanks for joining today. I hope you got some great ideas.